Page I manage. All right, it looks like we have 2 minutes before our session starts. I want to honor everyone's time. So this will be session will be about an hour. If there's anyone who has questions, I do open it up for Q&A. So if anyone has questions towards the end, it might go a little bit longer, but you and I will be together for this hour. All right. Thank you, everyone who's chiming in. Okay. It is 7 o'clock. So I am setting my timer for 1 minute so that we can start. I will honor everyone's time. People who are on here live, I will honor your time. And for those of you who are listening to the replay, I am so excited that you actually took the time to listen to replay. All right, so, let me pause this recording. I'm going to start recording, and I'm recording because so that you can have access to the replay. I'm going to leave the replay up for 48 hours. And I'm also recording for those who could not make it to the live tonight, the live session tonight. But I really want to make sure that I am honoring everyone's time. So here we go. Welcome. I'm so pumped up about doing this masterclass again. I had a handful of people who jumped on when I did it live at the beginning of the year, but we are here live and in living color with the 3 life-changing secrets to manifesting your man and your money. Let's talk about it. And I'm very excited about this particular masterclass because these are some tips and some things that I use, and also some tools that I make sure that my clients have access to so that your manifestation meter can be off the charts. We want to know what tool you're working with. You want to know how to work this tool so that you can start eliminating that feeling of loneliness, start attracting a new kind of person into your life, increase your value proposition. That's what I call it. Increase your value proposition. So welcome. Let us dive right in. Make sure I'm showing my slides. Okay. I want to make sure that you all are seeing my slides here. Okay, so before we get started, I need you to make a commitment right now that you are going to activate your manifestation. You got to make that commitment that you're going to activate your manifestation. And the reason I need you to make this commitment is because when you're activating it now by being on this webinar, this masterclass, but when you begin to take steps towards it, that's activating manifestation. That's telling the universe that you are open and you are available. So I just want us to pause for a split second and decide right now in this moment that you are going to activate your manifestation. A lot of times we're busy. I ask that you also take a little moment to set that. The reason I'm only doing it for 1 hour is because I know you alphas, I know you strong women. 1 hour, you're like in and out. If we did it any longer, you don't got time for that. And I know that, and that's how I would be. But I do ask that you just honor this space that you're in, honor this time that you're in, and make that commitment. And you're going to make that commitment. And in making that commitment, I need you to know, deep down inside, the universe wants to give you your desires. You have to accept that. Deep down inside, the universe wants to give you your desires. And the desires that you doubt you deserve will no longer elude you. If you know and you put that in your inner being, then you are going to be open to attracting that which you want in your life. That is just hands down, point blank. So I'm here to tell you that. I'm here to be that for you. Now, some of you are here. I want to know why you're here. So I'm going to ask that you participate in the chat, and I will let you know. Some of you are here because you want a relationship. That makes the most sense, right? You want a relationship, and you're tired of attracting the wrong men or choosing to be single. You're tired of the drama. Are you attracting the wrong men or choosing to be single and you're tired of the drama? I get that. I've been there. I understand it. So that would be number one. Number two would be that you want more money. You want more money. And some of the time that when you're thinking about more money, sometimes you are not earning what you're worth. Or you know that you have set a goal in your heart, but you're afraid to want that. So I want you to know that you deserve what your heart desires. You want more money. You're afraid of losing what you have, or you're working in a state of perpetual stress and overwhelm to maintain it. A lot of people I know are in that perpetual stress and overwhelm to maintain it. So I'm going to ask you in just a moment to put it in the chat. What is your reason? Reason number one was that you want a relationship. Reason number two was that you want more money. Reason number three, you want to enjoy the journey. This is really important, enjoying the journey. And enjoying the journey, you aren't really having fun in the areas that you know your heart is drawing you towards in your life. And at night, when the lights go out, your heart is still longing for something and you're missing something. So I want to know, and I want you to put it in the chat. I would like to know you are here for reason one, reason two, or reason three. Why are you here? One, you want to learn how to attract the relationship you desire. Number two, you want to attract more money. Number three, you are ready to enjoy the journey. If you can type that in the chat, that helps me out. I got folks saying all three. You know what? I had a feeling that a lot of people would say all three. It's really important that we honor what we're thinking. We honor our heart's desires. And so are you here on this masterclass because you want to learn how to attract the relationship you desire? You want to attract more money? You are ready to enjoy the journey. Someone says all three is number one. All three, but one is for me. I get it. You want to learn how to attract the relationship you desire. I appreciate you, Elaine, for putting that in the comments. Phoebe and Kay, I appreciate you participating, because in this participation, this is when you are starting to activate that manifestation. It's just honoring yourself, honoring where you are, and knowing what it is that you want. And we're going to go into detail here. We'll go into detail here. So let's talk about it. I want you to know that no matter what your reason is, I know that I am placed on this planet to encourage and empower women to know that they do not have to choose between career and love, and to empower women to create their dating strategies to attract the love that they want. I have been there. I've been a love addict. I have been that person who was always attracting the wrong guy. And I'll go into that later. But I want you to know that no matter why you are here, I see you, I hear you, and I'm here for you. As your dating empowerment strategist, your coach, I am here for you. Oh yes, Elaine says number one. Did number one, the finger typed number one. Yes, your finger might do the talking and walking. All right. So thank you so much, Tanisha. I'm so glad. I appreciate all of you just chiming in, wanting to be into this space with yourself, to be in a very heightened manifestation place. And I know that I remember making that transition from being overly stressed and that loneliness and that frustration and that coming home from work and being in that perpetual hamster wheel, to being able to design the life that I want. And I'm not saying any of this to brag. I am just letting you know that I have come a long way. I want to show you, I mean, I'm very blessed. I've gone through sharing a one bedroom apartment with my kid, to also a one bedroom with my kid for 3 years. I dated riffraff. I did. And then I got to the point of not speaking to anyone or no one asking me out on dates because I put that little taxi sign that said, I'm not available out. And no one even asked me out for 3 years. You know, my head was down or my nose was up or I was into my work. I just got to such a place where I just pushed everyone away from me because I was attracting the wrong guy or I was afraid to be hurt again. Coming from a love addict, my history is love addiction. I was the person who's going to love hard and I'm going to have broken hearts. So I decided that I was no longer going to be that defensive alpha where you put that wall up, you show up into a space and you're like, I'm here, but I'm hiding behind strength and busyness. People call it that. But when it comes to, it's really pain, it's really hurt. And that's where I was. And I won't spend a lot of time on this because I only have 1 hour, but I want to let you guys know that it was, what brought me here was all that pain and that heartache. What brought me to being a dating empowerment strategist for alpha females was the sleepless night, was the attracting riffraff, sitting across from guys at the table I just knew were not from me, accepting the unacceptable, knowing people were not trustworthy and spending time with them. And it did not serve me. And so being a dating empowerment strategist, what that means is I coach strong women into developing a systematic dating process that will build genuine confidence and unlock your feminine power so that you can start attracting that perfect mate for you. It's really important. And prior to developing my own process, like I said, I was that love addict. I was always looking for that high of romance. And I grew up without that guidance. No one ever teaches us how to love or what love looks like. And we would think that, we were taught those things, what love looks like, but I didn't have that lesson. And some people get it honestly, some people get it easily, but I was not that girl. So I had a lot of heartache. And after my second divorce, I knew that I did not want to be Elizabeth Taylor. I knew I didn't want to be, one of those women who had 6, 7 marriages. So I decided to take every workshop I could take every course I could take, get private coaching, go to a workshop. I was in a 21 session workshop. So that's like 21 weeks out of the year. And I wrote and I continued to do it. It was such a life-changing experience that I knew I wanted to be that vessel for women. I knew I wanted to be that vessel. So I threw myself back into the world of dating after I took so many lessons and courses and you name it. And so one day I began to, list all these amazing characteristics that I would be bringing to the table. And at the time, I was really good in business and strategies. And so a lot of the stuff that I teach may be very practical to you, but you may not have applied it to relationships yet. You may not have applied it to relationships. So, I had that total confidence when it came to business. I had confidence when it came to, making money. But when it came to attracting a different kind of guy, it didn't really match up. And so I wanted to put myself into a position to be able to look at things differently, shift my perception. You shift your perception, you shift your reality. And that's where that's where we are. We're here right now to help shift your perception so that you can shift your reality. And I mean, the facts are right here. 0 quality dates for 3.5 years, 0 quality dates. When I finally made the decision to make some changes, shift some things, 1 year later, when I decided to attract the person that I wanted, exactly 1 year later was when I got engaged. It was exactly 1 year. 1 year and a few months to be exact. And so I want you to know that your life can change dramatically in 1 year. In 2 years, I was married to the love of my life and launching my coaching business. So when you decide to create space for the thing that you truly want, then your life will start to look different. Your life will start to look different. So my manifestation journey, and then we are going to go into the meat of this. My manifestation journey, I was divorced twice For years, I let my feelings of false shame attract the wrong men. I had all this shame attached, like, oh, single mom, oh, divorced, oh, got married young. I had all of this shame. And then you attract that person who's on that same vibration. And that's what I did. Sought out the guidance I needed, which was the course that I took, the private sessions that I took with the therapist and my coach. I started attracting a different kind of guy, hands down, started attracting a different kind of guy. Wrote a one-woman show about it. My show is going to be up in New York soon, so you guys can come see it if you want. But in writing that show, I was able to look it in the face and honor who I was, honor my past, honor my history, my story, and what I've gone through. And it was allowed me to release that guilt and that shame. I had to do number one, which we're going to get into in just a second, in order to release that guilt and that shame. And so now I'm manifested the perfect partner. I decided what I want. I decided I deserved it, and who should be a good match for me. Hands down, bottom line, point blank, that's what I did. And so that's why I'm here for you. And that's why I'm going to take you through these 3 secrets that are going to help shift that perception. They're life-changing secrets that will help you start manifesting your man and your money. So let us talk about it. Let us dive in. Before we go any further, I forgot this slide was here to be completely honest with you. Other ways that we can work together when we're done, and I will let you all know that, but this is not the meat of this course, is I do have online courses. I do have guides. And one of the most important guides that I believe I have is the divorce detox. So if you've been in horrible relationships, if you are doubting yourself, you're going to want to get that divorce detox. I highly recommend everyone get that. But there's different courses and there's different ways to work with me. And I'll let you know that in the end. But I want to just set you up for success. So do know that there are options. You're going to be able to take the things that you learned today and apply them. However, if you want to go further, I will let you guys know how you can do that. And I'll also let you know how you're going to get these 2 guides for free: the divorce detox and understanding what love truly is, so that you know exactly what love is. You're going to be able to dive into that. All right. So are you ready? Do you have your pen and paper? Are you ready to type in the chat? I hope that answer is yes. I hope that answer is yes, because I'm going to, we're going to uncover the myths that are holding you back. There's a lot of myths that will probably be holding you back in this whole dating process, but we're also going to uncover those 3 secrets. And these secrets are very practical. They are things that you can walk away with today and apply to your life. That was one of the things that when I did the surveys at the end of the workshop, that is something that our ladies said, is that they can walk away with these tools and these tips and apply them to their life right now. So that is where we are, and that is what we are going to do. Make sure I am on my my right slide. Okay. So making a decision to connect and intentionally manifest what your heart desires means that you'll no longer just hope and wish things turn out good, but instead you'll begin to attract the desires that are planted deep in your soul, so that you can begin to experience magical manifestation on a daily basis. So I'm going to honor you in this space, in this time, for making this decision today to connect and intentionally start manifesting. Everyone did not jump on this call. Not everyone did not jump on it. I have 5,000 people on Facebook. Let's just say 50 of them might be single. I mean, out of 5,000, half of them might be single. And not everyone jumped on this. So let's take a moment to honor that in that space for you. So number 1, declutter. That might sound very, it might sound like, oh yeah, declutter. Okay, what's she talking about? But you must declutter your life. And this is true even in the practical sense. Before any major transformation or transition, there is a preparation. You have to change. You have to declutter is the first step. Whenever the farmers are creating a new harvest, they go into that soil and they turn that soil. They remove the weeds. They remove any debris. They remove old roots. They remove old roots. Y'all hear me? They remove old roots. They remove rocks. They remove the clutter, because you will lose sight of the thing that you want if the clutter is there. It is so important that you clean house. It will free you up to receive. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that, inventorying those around you, because they could be weighing you down. Doing an inventory of other things in your life, because those things are taking up space. You must remember that life is a vacuum. It is a vacuum. And I think about when I met Mr. McCrae. Some people who are in my group coachings, they've heard this story, where I was dating. Y'all, some people saw the One Woman Show. I was a love addict. I was out dating. I was dating multiple people. It was not sex, it was dating. And the thing that I knew was that all the guys I was dating were amazing guys. They were amazing men, but they were not marriage material. And when I decided that I was ready to be married, I took an inventory of the gentlemen that were around. And I'm sitting at a coffee shop with my best friend. I'll never forget this day. It was sunny. It was like, I think it was it was March. We were in March, but it was sunny. It was this time in March, several years ago. It was sunny. We were sitting at a coffee shop. We're outside. I'm working on my laptop. I have my shades on. And as women, when you have multiple people that you are dating, sometimes if you haven't got asked out on a date for that weekend, you'll text. It's called the fishing text, where you go, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Through text. And I picked up my phone to do that because it was Saturday morning and I hadn't had any dates. And I picked up my phone to do that, and something stopped me, because I knew just recently I had said, I think I want to be married again. So I stopped dead in my tracks from doing that fishing text, the bait and hook. And I said, nope, I'm going to hand out pink slips. Now, mind you, I had met Mr. McCrae 2 months before, and he had never called. But I wasn't worried about it because I was busy. But he had never called. So I told my girlfriend, I said, yeah, I think I'm going to hand out pink slips. So there's like 4 or 5 guys that I'm talking to. And I was like, am I just going to text them now and say it, or just wait for them to fade to black? Some of them I faded to black. Some of them I had text and said, yeah, this isn't working because I want more. And they weren't necessarily the guy. When I made that decision, I went home. About 6 o'clock that night, I get a phone call. I get a phone call from Mr. McCrae, first phone call ever. And he asks me out on a date. I had to clean house. I had to free up space in order to allow something good to come into my life. It may not be people that you're dating, or you might be dealing with a riffraff who's just been in your space that you really don't, you shouldn't be with. In your heart, not because Natasha on her masterclass, the dating empowerment strategist, is telling you, but because you know that you shouldn't be with this person. Or you might have so much clutter in your space, disguised as busyness, disguised as multiple businesses, and not intentional, strategic multiple businesses, but that busyness. Y'all know we hide behind that busyness. I'm pot calling the kettle black. So it's really important that you do an inventory of the things that are in your life, of the people that are in your life, and that you decide to declutter. It is important. This is so important when it comes to manifestation. And the reason we talk about manifesting your men and your money is because that is on the same vibration. And if you are usually struggling in one area, you're probably struggling in another. And it doesn't matter how much money that you make. You might wonder, why is my money always running from me? And then you look up and you're like, why are these men always running from me? You have to make sure that you are opening yourself up for that which you want. It is so important. So now it's the time. Let me ask you these questions. Yeah, someone says, I know I hide behind my busyness. Yes. And also we have to declutter our minds. It is so important for us to declutter our minds. And these are some myths that you might have started to believe: that you'll die alone, your eggs are drying up, a man won't want to be with a woman who has debt, if I want it done right, I have to do it myself, you're too much or not enough. These are myths. These are myths that you may have started to believe, and we must declutter our minds and our thoughts as well. I want you to think about this. This is a statistic that I saw, and it tanned my hide, but some people believe this, that 70% of all Black women are unmarried. All Black women make over $100,000 are unmarried. These are myths that you may have started to believe. It is imperative that you declutter that from your mind. It will get in the way. It'll be the weed that will kill your harvest. There will be people, there will be activities, there will be your mind and your thoughts that you must declutter. I'm here for all of that. I'm here for all of that. So let's talk about it. We're going to clean house. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where you chime in, where you activate this manifestation. What style of cleaning house works best for you? Are you, number one, going to journal on your own to uncover areas that need to be decluttered? Number two, work with a coach or friends who can help you uncover those areas and guide you with proven strategies. Number three, Google or read self-help books or join courses or groups that can help you in this area. What works best for you? Are you a 1, a 2, or a 3? And I ask you these questions because on this call, I do not want you to walk away and not activate the manifestation, not activate decluttering. So type it in the chat right now. I would love to know in the chat. Making sure I can see y'all in the chat. There we go. Let me know, are you a 1, a 2, or a 3? Do you need to just dive in and get a little bit of personal development? Personal awareness, and start journaling, diving in. Number 2 says, work with a coach or friends who can help you uncover those areas and guide you with proven strategies. I have Kay says number 2. I love that. That's something that I did as well, Kay. My sister was one of my board of directors, and I always call them board of directors, those people who you trust, who know you, love you, and want to see the best for you. And then after that, I've grown into having coaches. So that's why I pair that with that, either a coach or friends who know you, and the friends who want to see you winning, not the haters. There's a difference. All right, anybody else? Type it in the chat, please. 1, journal on your own to uncover the areas that need to be decluttered. Number 2, work with a coach or friends who can help you uncover those areas and guide you with proven strategies. Number 3, Google or read self-help books or join courses or groups that can help you in this area. Number 1, journal on your own and uncover these areas, declutter. Yes, I think at some point, make note, screenshot this, or make note of this, because these are some tactics that all of you can use. You can use all of these. That will be very beneficial, because even if you are working with friends or working with a coach, journaling is huge. So thank you, Phoebe, for putting journaling in there. Thank you, Tina. Work with the coach. I have a lot of number 2s. Number 3s can be self-explanatory, right? But sometimes we ain't fully ready to, get all up in personal, so we can just Google and just read it on our own. And feel free to put any questions in the comments, and I'll make sure I get to them at the end. All right, so let's move on. I believe I had that already. Now, let's talk about this. The universe responds to everything you think and feel. I hear this when I read this. I say I hear it, but I do hear it because my soul hears it. But when I read this, the universe responds to everything you think and feel. It's not just changing your thoughts for the sake of having different thoughts. It's changing your thoughts so that you can start to vibrate at a higher vibration. Because when you're vibrating at a higher vibration, you're going to attract those things that are vibrating high as well. Would you believe, and let's talk about this from a money and perspective. If you have a negative $200 in your bank account versus $200,000 in your bank account, or let's say 2,000 or 20,000 in your bank account, would you say that that gives you a different energetic feeling? If it gives you a different energetic feeling, it is truly important that you're aware and you understand that, so that if you are vibrating low and you're constantly thinking the negative, it's going to be very hard to leap to that positive. So when we are decluttering, we want to make sure that we're decluttering those thoughts and decluttering those feelings and running towards our joy. That's just, I know that's a side note, but it's really important. It's really important that you clean house. It's really important. Do you guys see the benefit in decluttering? And go ahead and put it in the chat when I ask these questions. Do you see the benefit in decluttering when it comes to manifestation? Because if you want to, let's talk about it from a money perspective. If you are in a job that isn't paying you what it's worth, and you are constantly talking to the same people, going to the same events, focusing on the same thing all the time, then it's going to be very hard for you to be aware of any opportunities that are coming your way. Whether you're at a networking event, because if you are in that low vibration, you could be at a networking event, you just like, I hate my job. This mess sucks. I ain't making what I need. But then there's someone over there who might have want to pay you $10,000 more, but your energy did not attract that. So let's talk about that. Let's think about that. Yes, it is very important. Kay says she had to include women. Yes, we have to also include our friends. We have to declutter them, because if your friend's mindset, this is one of the main reasons I started our group mastermind, and I'll let you guys know about that towards the end. But the main thing is, if you are on a new path and your friends are not on that same path, or they have I have a friend calls it NAS conversations, where they be like, he ain't this and he's not that. If they live in that space, that is not serving you. We must declutter those type of people out of our life. That is the bottom line. That is, I mean, let's just be real. Let's be real and talk about it. Where are my notes? Give me a second. Okay, so here's a case study of someone who decluttered. This is a case study of someone who decluttered. I will let you hear what she had said.
Tasha has been amazing. And the past 3 years, it started with that person over there, who connected me to that person back there, who connected me to this woman right here. And my life is so different. I'm so grateful for what I've allowed God to do to these women who have changed me, and just to go where it is that He has for me.
So let's talk about this case study here. She decluttered her bills. This was a thing. There was overwhelm. There was stress. There was extra storage. There were extra bills that were on subscription. And what we ended up doing, there were tools that she was using that were self-help tools that were just too many. And this is a clear case study of decluttering. Tiara is phenomenal. She looked at line by line all of her bills, got rid of those extra subscriptions. She decluttered her space, got rid of her storage. She simplified the tools that she's using for success and really started focusing on one of those. She partnered with me on the scope of finances, because we did personal coaching, but we just looked at all of those things that were cluttering up her life, that were causing the stress and overwhelm, that was making her feel stuck. And we removed that from her life. In doing this, I love this story. In doing this, she, number one, increased her salary, and she opened up the door for opportunities of working in her craft of illustration. That, to me, is hands down priceless for her. And our next phase is the relationship side. But when it comes to her finances, she has opened up that door because she decluttered all this stuff in her life. So now there is an availability mindset, an openness mindset that is shifting her into manifesting all the things that she wants in her life. So I just want you all to be aware that you can do that through decluttering. All right. So number 2, you must unlock your truth. Are you being honest about the things you want in life? Because a confused mind says no. We know that. A confused mind says no. The universe confused says no. It doesn't know which way to go. I'll give you an example. There was a time when I was up leveling my my finances. And in up leveling my finances, I had put on my vision board a certain dollar amount. And on the vision board, there was this dollar amount. But in my journal and in my affirmations, it was a different dollar amount. Go figure. The reason I had the lower dollar amount in journal and affirmations because I didn't quite feel that I could reach out and get that dollar amount that was on my vision board. I will tell you that I made no money. None. Absolutely zilch. It was really fascinating when I got very specific and I began to honor what I wanted. That is when I started to manifest the amount that I had originally said. And the thing about it is, if we do not recognize this, we will continue to blame everything, everyone else for the things that are not coming into our life. I could have blamed, oh, these women aren't trying to improve their lives. Or, if with acting, oh, they're only interested in people who have tons of accolades. We can make up so many stories. That goes back to decluttering, number 1. But we can make up so many stories as to why something isn't working, when the bottom line is that we have not unlocked our truth. We have not been honest about the thing that we want. Does that resonate with anyone? I think I'm talking about something, and I bet you have there's something in your space that comes to mind. I bet there is. Type it in the chat if there is. It's a private chat. I'm the only one who can see it, but I would love to hear from you. Type it in the chat if something came to mind. It's really important. Here's another example. Back when I was acting, I'm still acting, but when I first started acting, I moved to LA. And there's something that we actors in business side of acting, we mail out mailers to casting directors. We look at the casting directors we want to work with, and we mail the mailers out. At that point, I just was mailing to random people. I was mailing the mailers to random people. And I wasn't getting any traction until I decided because I was mailing to theater, and I could not do theater because theater wasn't paying me enough. And I had a kid. So the hours you had to put into theater and the amount of money that theater was paying didn't work for the single mom that I was. And so there was no reason why I should have been mailing to theater producers. There was no reason why I should be mailing to theater producers. And when I decided to get very specific, and at the time it was more modeling, because I loved modeling. At the time it was more modeling. So I took the time to find modeling producers, and I ended up booking so much more. It's just because the universe and myself, we were in alignment. Because why would I mail like God and the universe is looking like, why is she mailing to theatrical agents, or agents for theater or casting directors for theater, and she doesn't even want that. You don't even want that. So let's talk about it. What area of your life are you not honoring? Are you not being willing to say, yes, I want that? Because sometimes I've had it where I've talked to people and they'll be like, yeah, I want a relationship, but I don't want all that drama, blah, blah, blah. Who says that relationship has to be drama? I know I used to think that. So therefore, I just was not dating for 3 years. Until you learn, I have tools and practices, when you learn to enjoy the journey, which we'll talk about in a little bit, when you learn to do that, then you're going to spend your time with the most amazing people, and it'll never be a waste of your time. But I want you to know, what is it that you want? What is it? What do you want? Are you being honest with that? Are you being honest with the amount of money that you want to earn? Are you being honest with the type of relationship that you want to have? Or are you saying, I want this relationship, but I'm not going to date? Are you saying, I want this relationship, but I just keep, and I don't want to deal with him, when you don't even know him? I'm not talking about that intuitive feeling that says don't hang out with somebody, because that's a whole nother story. But there's some times where you're just like, I know he said this. Oh no, he didn't pick up when I called. Like, what are you telling the universe? And are you honoring your desires? So let us talk about how you can get truthful with yourself. How are you going to do that? And this is back to what style works best for you, because you're going to walk away with these actionable steps for you to do. Some of you are going to actively talk with friends for decluttering. You're going to actively get with a coach. Some of you are going to start journaling. Some of you said you will get into a group masterminds. So what are you going to do? Let's talk about the truth and honesty. And I want to know what style is going to work best for you. 1, take the time to have a heart-to-heart with yourself and write down what you need. That is an exercise. Write down what it is that you want and you need. Having that heart to heart. Number 2, join a mastermind, connect with friends or a coach, because they will have that bird's eye view of your life. When you say, what do you want? Like, I've had conversations with my best friend and my sister, and there was a time when I was going to go and volunteer for this group, and the group had nothing to do with my life's purpose, and it was not a God moment. Because sometimes you have God moments that don't look quite right, but you know it's a God moment. So there was an event I was going to go to and volunteer and be active in, and it was nothing. It was nothing that I wanted. It was not an alignment, and I was not being truthful to the thing that I want. So let's ask this question. 1, 2, or 3. You're going to take the time to have a heart-to-heart with yourself and write down what you need. Number 2, you're going to join a mastermind, connect with friends or a coach, because they have that bird's eye view. Or number 3, you're going to find someone who's where you want to be and model their systems to uncover yours. Which one resonates with you the most? Which one feels right for you? Because everyone's going to be different. Type it in the chat. Number 3, find someone who's where you want to be and model their systems to uncover yours. Phoebe says that. Number 1, Kay, take the time to have a heart-to-heart with yourself and write down what you need. Yes, and before we end right now, put it in your calendar and decide when you're going to do that. Because what you are doing by decluttering, by getting very focused on the thing that you want, is that you are going to activate your manifestation. When it comes to giving that dollar amount, when it comes to the relationships, what kind of relationship are you having with money? What kind of relationship are you having with men? Yeah, Kay says, I've done number 1 and I'm going to tweak it. Yes. And I think it's an ongoing relationship. It's ongoing. So we take that time to have that heart to heart and write the things down of what we want, because sometimes we get caught up in the heartache. We get caught up in the disappointment. It may not be major heartache, but it might be a disappointment. And when we're caught up in the disappointment, then we just stop wanting what we want. Because I don't want to want what I want, because I might not get what I want. So it's really important. It is very important that you dive into those areas of your life that you really want to change, and just understand, what is it that I want? I just recently did that with acting. At the end of last year, I said I wanted to start acting more. And because I was not setting intentions with that, I was setting intentions with my business, with my marriage, but I was not setting intentions with acting. I set that intention. And so I'm on set and I realize, oh, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Then I set the intention. Yeah, I'm going to act more. I'm going to direct. And I just recently finished a Centrum commercial. Once I decided to honor that, what was in my heart, that's when I began to attract the things into my life. So it's very important that you honor that. Okay, so you guys have it down, what you're going to be doing. Make sure you make note of what you said you're going to do. I have met the one and I do not want to mess it up again. Yeah, I get that. I get that, Kay. And you know what that means? That means that we will declutter that thought. We're going to declutter those thoughts. There is there's a lesson in decluttering about tapping into that space and that feeling, and we're going to declutter that thought, because you can have the most amazing, wonderful relationship because you deserve it and you know what it looks like. And that goes back to having that heart to heart, identify what it is that you want. And here I am doing private coaching on here, but I think that I get excited when I hear these things. Let's talk about this case study with Lottie. I'm very excited with Lottie because she got very clear on what she wanted.
I would listen to her lives, and I met with her one-on-one for an hour, and I thought to myself, if that 1 hour could catapult me to the next level, what would happen if I flew in from DC and stayed with her for the whole day? And so last year I came in from DC and I was here the whole day, and I mean, I went back fired up. I mean, I was on rocket fuel. My friends were trying to be out. Who are those people? These people are my tribe.
So I love this message from Lottie, because Lottie was not clear at all about what she wanted out of dating. She was like, yeah, I want a relationship, but I'm dealing with these riffraff. She did not admit that she actually really wanted that relationship. And once she got very clear what she wanted out of a relationship, what she wanted out of the dating process, she also started thinking outside the box, because when you've been dating for a while, you've set up a lot of rules for yourself. And those rules are generally walls that have been put up to protect you. And when we do that, we eliminate anything from getting in. Because if I put up this wall, then I'm eliminating anything else from getting in. So what she did is she admitted what she really wanted in dating. She opened her mind to what could work for her. She started thinking outside the box. And doing that, she's successfully dating. She's getting more out of life in setting boundaries and asking for what she wants. She has had so much clarity on what she wants. And when you have clarity on what you want, it will be easier for you to set boundaries to eliminate from people stepping over that. How can I reword that? When you identify with what you want, it's easier to set boundaries. It's hard to set boundaries when you don't know what you want. You don't know what you'll accept. You don't know what is your standard or what is good enough for you. So that's one major reason why you want to get clear on what it is that you want. Like for me, I knew I wanted to be married. I know someone that I'm working with who wants to have children. So she had to admit, she's in her 40s. She had to admit and accept, I want kids. And it was hard for her to admit because of the fear of it not happening. But in her admitting, I want kids, she's able to set boundaries, and certain men just don't fit the mold. Men who do not want kids, that she just can't. She can't, waste her time. I'm sure you see the benefit in saving time, because ain't nobody got time for that. I hear that all the time. Wall versus boundary over walls. Okay, I will go into that in Q&A. Walls versus boundaries. Remind me to cover that. All right, so let's talk about the truth is the pathway to what is awaiting you. I love that. The truth is a pathway to what is awaiting you, because what it is in your heart is waiting for you. It's waiting for you. It is waiting to serve you. Just think about that for a moment. And if we're not truthful about what it is that we want, we will not find that path to which is waiting for us. Yeah, that's food for thought. Food for thought on that. All right, question. I like this question. I got some really good answers in our previous masterclass. What would you stop doing in your life right now if you had a clear manifestation plan you knew could get results and you could trust? What would you stop doing right now? I want you to actively engage in this, activate your manifestation. Entertaining, some people before had put entertaining self-doubt, negative talk. That's huge. Someone said offering the services, not offering services in their business. Another person said offering certain services that they didn't enjoy. Stop giving energy to coworkers. I want you to put it in the chat. What are you going to stop doing? Because you're developing a clear manifestation plan. And I want to know what you are going to stop doing. I had to stop dating the same guy in a different body. What that meant is I just thought that I deserved a certain type of guy, and I kept getting that guy. And when I knew that I could manifest the one that was good and right for me, I had to stop accepting the unacceptable. I want to hear from you. What are you going to stop doing? Leave it in the chat. There's something you are doing right now. What are you going to stop doing? For me, it was accepting the unacceptable. For me, it was taking jobs that did not, serve me. What are you going to stop doing right now? I'm waiting. I would like to know. Uh-oh. I don't know what just happened. Oh, there we are. I almost moved. We are thinking it's deep. You know what? It is deep. It is deep. It is deep. Stop hiding. That is huge. I understand that. I understand the stop hiding, because that was something that I battled with. And every now and then it creeps up. But now I have the manifestation tools to be able to battle that, to be able to kick that to the curb. I use tapping. I have a whole lesson in our mastermind portal on tapping, on EFT, for you to be able to get past that break. Oops, what am I? Yeah, there we are. I'm looking at all my stuff. Stop accepting the unacceptable. All right, so I will move on. But some of the previous lessons was stop negative self-talk, stop giving energy to coworkers, stop offering the services in business. So I just want to make sure that we're honoring this and marking this moment, because it's really important. Someone says stop being frustrated. Someone says I will stop hesitating and stop getting frustrated with timing of it all. That's huge. So I want you to know that these things that you're saying you are going to stop doing, this is what's holding you back. So it is time that you are aware, like just asking these questions. A lot of times we don't sit around with our girlfriends having these conversations, but just asking these questions, they can get you to a place of understanding, of being in full acceptance that, yes, I have these thoughts, but I still love and accept myself completely, so that you can move on. Doesn't this give you confidence to know that you can start right now? Does it give you confidence that you can stop doing those things right now and start manifesting the things you want? I have someone saying they'll stop walking away. They will stay, and they'll stop saying, leave me alone. I want to be by myself. That's huge. That's huge. It sounds like that's a protection that we do to protect ourselves, is saying, yeah, I want to be by myself, when that's not really the truth. Yeah. Okay. So let's get down to, I'm not sure why you are here. And I think I'd know, and I think it's one of these three or all of them. You're sick and tired of not quite hitting the mark when it comes to love and career. You're paralyzed on where to start. You know what you want, but you found that you want some accountability to get it done. And I'm here to give you that perception shift. It is so important that you give yourself a perception shift. Yeah, so y'all put it in the comments. Why do you believe that you're here on this call? Like, you're sick and tired of not quite hitting the mark on love and career. You feel paralyzed on where to start. You know what you want, but you found that you want the accountability to get it done. I have a 3, I have a 1. Sick and tired of just not hitting that mark. A lot of 3s. I think that if you were here, more than likely you aren't paralyzed anymore. I think that's what happened. Thank you for responding, Kay, Tina, Lisa. Thank you, everyone. So let's talk about this perception shift. Do you guys remember what I mentioned early on? Remember what I mentioned early on about the 70% of all women who make over $100,000 a year were not married. But how about we make a perception shift and we accept the fact that the 30% of women who make over 100,000 a year are married. 30%. So let us decide that we will be that 30%. Let us decide that we will be that 30%. Let's talk about the final secret. This final secret, we have a very limited time. I'm probably going to go over 5 minutes. That is okay. But I want to talk about taking inspired action. By you leaving this in the chat, by you typing, by you coming to this masterclass, this is the beginning of you taking inspired action. The only way to take inspired action is to know what your intention and your desires are. That's the only way. And that's one of the reasons why I was like, let's declutter things that are in your way. Then we identify that thing that you want. And then now that we know what you want, we've told the universe, you're telling yourself, you can start activating that reticular activative system and start taking inspired action. Let's talk about that inspired action. In order to manifest the things that you want, it's going to require action. I'm not saying manifestation, you're manning your money just by sitting here, just by saying, I'm going to manifest, I'm going to feel good, and I'm manifesting. No, we have to put some action behind this. We must put some action behind this. Regular action, it's like from back in the day, and I feel like in order for me to manifest the things that I wanted, like I manifested, the acting gigs, I manifested, more clients because I got very specific on who I want to serve and what I want. I'm not just serving and wanting every single person. I want women like you, women who know what they want, women who are determined, the woman who has strength from deep down inside. So it's really important when you are very clear, then you can truly take action. And if you have to get truthful with yourself, but are we taking action towards manifesting the thing that's deep in our soul? Are you taking that action? Or manifesting that dream that you think you deserve? It's really important that you take action. So when we get off the call tonight, I want you to decide, what action you're going to take towards that thing that we identified in secret number 2. But let's figure it out. Let's look at this. Inspired action. What best describes you? So now that you know you have to declutter, now that you know you have to identify the thing that you want, I want to know what inspired action are you going to take? Are you doing exactly what you know you're supposed to be doing? Not exactly sure what action I should take? Or I'm not ready for all that action stuff just yet. I want to know, where are you? Are you going to take that action? And you're like, yeah, I know I'm going to do exactly what I know I'm supposed to be doing. Or you're not quite sure. Or you're just like, I'm not ready to move. There are some, and it's okay. It's okay if you're not ready to move. I have one. Most of you are like, I'm going to do number 1. Do what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm so glad that that's your response. 1.5, do what I'm supposed to be doing and not quite sure. I see your 1.5. Thank you so much, Lisa, Kay, everyone for participating. Felicia, Phoebe, Tina, I appreciate all of you who are participating. This is beautiful. So this is the last testimonial. And I just want you to hear from this person because she's a
I
manifestation.
have been working with Natasha for 3 years now. I'm so excited about 2019. I'm one of her VIP clients. In every single goal that I have set out to accomplish with her, I've been able to manifest.
And I'm showing you guys these case studies because I want you to know that it's not just me saying these things to you. These are real women who are making massive change in their life. And Dinshe got very clear on the things that she wanted. She made it a habit of taking inspired action. She went beyond just decluttering and knowing what she wants. And when she did that, she leveled up her career. She added 2 new streams of income, and she is in a relationship now. And I love saying that because I actually been able to watch this manifest before my eyes. And I know that you can do the same thing. I know that you can do the same thing. I'm not the only one who's talking about this. Let's talk about Bob Proctor, the godfather of attraction. These are what the pros say about manifestation. Focus on the image of what you really want. That creates the thoughts you need to get what you're focusing on. The thoughts create new feelings, happy, expectant, faith. The feelings will produce new actions. And the actions attract and produce the desired goal and result that you want. So tonight, when we get off of this call, or you may have already identified it today, what it is that you want when it comes to money and when it comes to your man. Whether you are in a relationship or you are single, let's identify these. Let's understand that you can have the thing that you want, but we just must get very clear. We must get very clear about that. So we are no different than you. I want you to know that we're no different than you. And these women, myself, we were able to manifest this by taking inspired action. So 1 year from now, where do you want to be? Option 1, you keep doing what you're doing. You may stumble upon a little success, but not the success you intentionally want or desire. Or option number 2, you decide to take inspired action toward that which your heart desires. More money, more love, by getting guidance you need, surrounding yourself with winners so that you can celebrate the wins you really want this year. I want you to figure out where you want to be. Are you going to lean into option 1 or are you going to lean into option 2? And it's okay. Sometimes when I've gone to master classes, I've taken the things that I've learned and have applied them to my life. And then I've also identified the people who have what I want that will help me get exactly what I want. So are you option 1 or are you option 2? Because a lot can happen in 1 year. Where do you want to be in 1 year from now? There are 2 paths that you can take right now. So this is where I want to let you know how you're going to get your free Design the Life You Want detox and your free Design the Life You Want More Love guide. I'm going to show you how to get that. And then I also want to let you know about our mastermind group. There is no obligation for anyone who is on this call, but I just want to make sure that I am offering you ways that we can stay connected. And then I will give you the way that you can get the items for free. So these 2 resources are what you'll get free: the More Love Now guide and the Divorce Detox. And your path 1, keep doing what you're doing. There's a price to be paid for doing it alone. Wasted time and energy. I remember that. The loss of drive when discouragement sets in, because it will set in. If I did not have my mastermind team and my coach, discouragement would set in and kind of, floor me for much longer than it does. Perpetual feeling of loneliness. When you're an entrepreneur or when you are alpha female, a lot of times you're operating in a box. And I do understand that. And so that's why I've created this next thing I'm going to show you. Or you're going to ignore your deepest desires because they just get too painful to want. Continue that vicious cycle of never fully being satisfied. Sometimes that's what can happen on path 1 when you operate in that bubble. So I want to make sure that you are understanding what path 2 is. Path 2 is you'll allow me to walk you through a step-by-step process. 1, it's going to save you time. It'll eliminate stress and overwhelm. You'll connect with like-minded women. We had someone earlier in the chat talk about they had to remove women out of their life. They had to remove certain women out of their life. And that is very powerful. And the women that you'll connect with here, they're like-minded women. And so your network will create a synergy. And we know that magic happens when women get together. We know that magic happens when women get together, and you'll no longer feel alone. That is some of the consensus that I've had. So on path number 2, you get on calls twice a month. So it's bi-weekly Q&A calls. You have personal one-on-one opportunities. You get private coaching so that you can opportunities so you can stay connected, inspired, accountable to your personal goals. I mean a private group. There's course discounts. You have a year in love events that are for free. Our private Facebook group with additional resources. If anyone here is on our group, go ahead and leave it in the chat so I can say what your testimonial, if you're in our private group and you're on this call. That's the beautiful thing. Those who are in mastermind private groups, they still come on all of my free coaching sessions. And I love that. And that means a lot to me. So I appreciate all of you. So this is how I can help you manifest what you want. You empowering alpha females to succeed in both love and career. That's what I'm doing. Cultivate a relationship with your intuition so that every decision that you make will be made with grace and ease. You'll build your accomplishment muscle so you'll no longer question your confidence. I know what that feels like, and it feels so good. You'll achieve your goals in career and in love beyond what you can imagine. And it's very important that you understand that. Now, we went through decluttering, we went through your honesty and your truth, and we went through taking inspired action. In our group mastermind, there are lessons specifically for these areas. Overcoming self-sabotage, how to create space for your dreams. That's a really great decluttering one. How self-care increases your success and you can reboot and renew. Then honesty and truth, we have making boundaries. We talked about that earlier, which I'll answer that question. Boundaries versus walls. Making the choice of happiness. Happiness is a choice, and in that lesson, we talk about it. Success loves clarity. There is a lesson about success and clarity, which goes back to a little bit more in depth about what it is that you want. And on taking inspired action, how to celebrate you, because that heightens your vibration, tapping into your own personal power for ultimate success. That is one of my favorite lessons. Making meaningful connections without losing yourself, manifestation and you, making money moves and setting financial goals. These are the lessons that you have access to in our group mastermind. The minute you join us, you have access to these lessons. And that excites me because I love women who are really busy. I still love that they want to dive in to learning so much about themselves, about self-awareness, about designing the life that you want. And you can do it on your own time. You don't have to log in at a certain day. You just do it on your own time. And I'm here for you with that. So you get all of that, bi-weekly calls. If we were in private coaching is $6,500, and we meet bi-weekly. Then your personal one-on-one opportunities, those you get an opportunity to have those. That's a $600 value. But the private group, that's priceless because I've been a member of groups, and the mastermind groups, they're upward of $10,000. And that is not what I'm doing here. That is not what we're here for. Although there is value in that. And I honor that. I honor those courses I've been in. The course discounts, that's over a $500 savings on the design life you want, date like a boss challenge, and design the life you want, unapologetically alpha. Those are 2 courses that you'll have access to at a major discount. And a year in love live events. So the live events that we have, I have over, small live events every year. We'll have more than 8 of them towards the end of the year. And that's a minimum of 250. That is the value of all of this. So if you were to do everything individually, that is a $17,850 value. And that is not what we're doing here. I just want you to know that I do see the benefit of women coming together, but I also want you to know that I honor where you are and wanting more out of your life. And that's what I'm here for. So most of the reasons why people join our mastermind is 1, money. They want to level up their career, more money so that they can make room for the relationship that they crave. So what that means is you're going to learn certain tools that will help eliminate that stress and overwhelm so that you can be available for relationships. Number 2, less stress. You want the shortcuts to success. You want what other people have done. You want more time for the things that matter so you can increase your life satisfaction. That's huge for us, increasing life satisfaction, and that you can quiet that stress and overwhelm. Number 3, level up your life with grace and ease so you can attract the perfect mate. That's love. We run so much more love. These are the top 5 reasons why women join the mastermind. Number 4, savings, time and money. Because if you were in a personalized coaching, the personalized coaching program with me is $6,500 a year. And by joining the group mastermind, you're saving money, and then you can also do the lessons on your own time. And that's really important for those who are in the group mastermind. That's what they said, that they were able to just do them on their own time. They like that. Number 5, which is so priceless, is networking, accountability. You want to expand your circle of influence by surrounding yourself with other women who are on the same success path. If you were to get into the group mastermind, just type in 2 or 3 of these that appeal to you the most. I always like doing an inventory of why women would join our mastermind. Or if none of these, put a 0 if none of these appeal to you. But out of these 5, which 2 or 3 appeal to you the most? Leave that in the comments. I want to know. Number 1 is money. Number 2, less stress and shortcuts to success. Number 3 is love. Number 4 is savings, time and money. And number 5, networking and accountability. Yeah, number 5, networking and accountability. Yeah, you can leave, if you're listening now, and put it in the chat, your top 2 or 3 reasons why you would join a mastermind. 1 and 2, more money, and then less stress and shortcuts. Thank you. I'm getting that. 1 and 2, 2s. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of 2s. 3s, love. Thank you. Yep. And you know, everyone has a reason why they come into, and there's a different reason why they would join our mastermind. And the mastermind that I love, the reason I love it is because it combines the practical sense, but also both career and love. It's not just one. And I've never seen that. And that was something that I wanted to develop for my women, because we cannot compartmentalize ourselves. And I don't believe in that. So let us talk about now. 17,850. That's what the value of this mastermind is. But this mastermind is less than the cost of happy hour. And I like saying that because I know alpha females love happy hour. And if you're like me, you like happy hour. So the group mastermind is only $99 a month. And in that group mastermind, remember, you're going to get twice a month, you're on a call with me. You have Q&A opportunities. You're going to have access to all of the courses, decluttering, honesty, inspired action. You're going to have access to our private group where you're going to be connecting with other like-minded women. And that group mastermind is for you at $99. But on this call, I want to make sure that you have the opportunity to join us at a discounted rate. And if you join us at a discounted rate, that is going to be, over the next 15 minutes, it'll be $75 a month. Our group mastermind is $99 a month, but it'll be $75 a month. So I want to know what stood out to you the most tonight. And before I move on, I want to make sure that you understand the other items that you're going to get. When you're in the group mastermind, you get the foundation for free. That is another masterclass similar to this. You get 6 strategies for the alpha female to stay sexy and strong. And you're going to have the Alpha Vision Mastery Workbook. You will also receive the free bonuses of the Love Guide and the Divorce Detox, which I recommend every single woman do. Whether you have been in a relationships years ago, whether it was a crush or if it was a marriage, I believe you need to get that divorce detox. I highly recommend that. But I would love to know, before I move on to Q&A, I would love to know what stood out to you the most on this call tonight. What stood out to you the most? You're going to type it in the private chat and I will say it so that everyone on the call and on the replay can hear. So while you guys are typing that in, I want you to know that I don't have gold rushing through my veins. I always like to let people know that. I'm human just like everyone else. They see me online talking and I've made it to the promised land, so to speak. But I'm still a woman who puts on her pants just like you, puts on her skirt just like you, puts on her red lips just like you. And I don't have gold rushing through my veins. I do not have a magic genie. I just have proven systems that gets me what I want. And I help my clients do the same. And that is my mission in life. My mission in life is to help you do the same, to get what you want in both career and love. And I'm not going anywhere. So I will be doing that. I will be doing that for a while. So I would love to know what it is that stood out to you most on this call. But I also want to let you know that if you are interested in taking advantage of the group mastermind, it's only $75. That expires in the next 15 minutes, actually. So we will not stay on this call long. So go ahead and type in any questions that you have in the chat and I will answer your questions. Now I'm going to scroll back up to see if you guys have put questions in here so that I can answer them. Okay. Okay, so one of the questions was, oh, I got your note. Thank you so much. Someone said repeating what they say in the testimonial because there's background noises. I will make sure that I do that. Thank you so much for that input. Someone said, what's the difference between walls and boundaries? And I think that was the question. What is the difference between walls and boundaries? Walls are put up to keep everyone out. It keeps out the good and the bad. Boundaries set you up so that good can come in and the bad can't. It's kind of like boundaries are the key to your life. Does that make sense? You have a door with a key, with a lock on it. And boundaries are the key to your life. Boundaries look like an open door when walls are walls with no door. So when you have set boundaries, you have the door and you've given someone the key. And if they don't use that key, the door does not open to your life. Here is an example. You call somebody on the phone. They're yah, going off on you, maybe cussing, maybe getting loud. The boundary is, if you would like to have a conversation with me, you will stop yelling and talk sensibly. If they do not do that, then you no longer have a conversation. That is an example of a boundary. That's like one of my best examples. Not a hang up, not I'm gonna yell back at you. It's like, nope, you didn't say the password, which is nice and calm. So that's something that stands out to me. Is that's a boundary. Walls, you probably put up walls to protect yourself. And boundaries allow the good in as well. Walls don't allow the good in. Okay, so are there any other questions? I'm gonna because I know that the link that I have for you to get the $75 discount expires at 8:30. So I do not want to keep you guys on the line too long, but were there any other questions? Someone says, do I have to, someone wants to know, do you have to listen to all of the lessons in the mastermind? No, you don't have to. There are some people that I've gone in and I look and they've listened to 2 out of the 12 or 15 that are in there. But they take advantage of the one-on-one conversation every other week. They have gotten their private coaching. They're getting their $6,500 worth. So that's what some people have done. So no, you don't have to listen to all of them, but you can do it on your own. Thank you so much, Kay. I appreciate you. I would like to know your feedback. I would like to get feedback from everyone to let you know what would you have liked to see more of? What did you like most so that I can keep it in there? Do I do just coaching? No, the group coaching mastermind. When people, I hear, do you do just coaching? I don't know what that means, but I do coaching on the call, and then there are courses. So on the twice a week or twice a month call, it's every other Monday. We get on the call. I will talk about a certain topic for 5 minutes, and then the rest is people who have chosen to dive into a challenge. We'll put that in there. People come to celebrate their successes. That's a huge portion of our mastermind, is celebrating successes, because it breeds more of a higher energetic field for you to attract more into your life. I assume that was the question. All right, so I have a few people left on here. We are going to jump off, but I would like to know, are you, and for those of you who are on mobile, you can't see me, but my face is showing. For those of you who are on your desktop, you probably can see my face in the little corner. I think there's a little circle in the corner. But if you're on mobile, you can't see me. I have been here smiling at you guys, smiling for you mobiles. All right, so that is it. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are interested in the group mastermind or have any questions, feel free to respond to any of my reply to any of my emails, or just go ahead and reply to the email that you're going to get this replay. The replay will be up for 48 hours. For those of you who are watching on Facebook and YouTube, if you want to get the replay, you must go to the page to sign up to get the replay. All right, you guys, feel free to reach out with anything. I love you. Go out and start manifesting. Manifest, manifest, manifest your man and your money, because I know you can do it. Bye.